crunch calling with our baddest bucket. That's 7 pieces of chicken for only $99. And for just $25 more, get 4 additional sides. Or crunch into Carnival with a super deal and get 1 piece of chicken, 1 regular side, a biscuit, and a large drink for only $29.95.
When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunch Nival at KFC.
Are you tired of scratching the surface? Do you want to understand the real forces shaping Trinidad and Tobago? From the delicate dance of our energy sector on the global stage, to the geopolitical shadows behind the crime affecting our streets, we dig deeper. The Third Umpire goes beyond the headlines. We connect the dots between local challenges and the international currents that truly impact your life, your wallet, your security. Join Stephen Matheson, Selvin Mitchell, and Ronaldo Rollux, 3 employment law and human resource management consulting professionals, as they unpack the complexities, analyze the power plays, and reveal the often hidden realities. Understand the game. Understand your role in it. The Third Umpire, critically analyzing Trinidad and Tobago's economic and political realities on how they affect your daily lives. Tune in Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on the Street 919 FM. Don't just listen to the news. Understand it.
A lovely day for cricket. Blue skies and gentle breeze. The Indians are waiting now to play the West Indies. A signal from the umpire. The match is going to start. The cricketers come on the field. They all look very smart. Irapali Prasana, Gigi Boy and Wadeka, Krishna Murthy and Vishnu Mankad. Them boys could well play cricket on any kind of wicket. They make the West Indies team look so bad. We was in all kind of trouble. Joey Carew pull a muscle, Clive Lloyd get about 3 run out. We was in trouble without a doubt. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Venkataraghavan, Bedi in a turban, Vijay Jaishima, Jayanti Lal. They helped to win the series against the West Indies at Sabina Park and Queen's Park Oval. 158 by Kanai really sent our hopes up high. Noriega 9 for 95. The Indian team, they still survive. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Rajan Jurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies try holder and keep boys. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a shot at the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Colonel Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis. They take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole hog in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son. He make duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to all you listeners, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all those on the commute. Good afternoon to those of you who are traversing the nation's streets to and from work. You know, sometimes some people are leaving work this hour and some people are going to work this hour because of the work cycle. So we want to say good afternoon to all you listeners, those of you who in your maxis, in your taxis, or those of you in your private cars and you decide to listen to something different today. We want to say good afternoon and thank you for tuning in on the Third Empire here on the street, 91.9 FM. Good afternoon, as always, to the owners and operators of this great radio station, Mr. Neil Iwer George and his family, and by extension, his staff. And we cannot fail to thank them enough for allowing us to share this time with you, you know, as we engage in some matters of state, some matters of the heart, anything that affects us on the street. We discuss it on the street, 91.9 FM. So, there's a lot on today. First up is the 50 over matches in Tobago is on today. The THA elections is happening right now. So, those of you who are listening to us over there or who have relatives who are part of the Go Out and Vote campaign, we want to wish everyone, all the candidates, all the best of luck. And people have their choices and discussions and decisions to be made, and certainly we will get into some of that here as well. You know, we have to have our eye on election here as well. But also in the news, we see amendments in the Maternity and Retrenchment Acts. Major wins for working families. And amidst all the hullabaloo that has been happening with the fines and other things that seem to put a damper on people's expectations of this government, I must say that these two reforms are important, they are necessary, they are, in my view, advanced, and they are what I would term as developmental in their own right, and they are good steps in the right direction as far as labor reform is concerned in Trinidad and Tobago, and obviously the protection of those under the Maternity Protection Act. Those two things are necessary. They are very necessary, and I cannot fail to underscore how important they are. So we are going to get into some of those issues and what they mean for the average citizen, what they mean for the women of the society, and what they mean for the fathers, or those who are signing up or who planning to sign up, or who have maybe already signed up in their mind for that role in life somehow this timing seems to be good as far as the legislation is concerned. So we're going to look at that. The Prime Minister has described as major wins for working class families. Working families, several announcements made on Sunday at the UNC press conference, including expanded maternity protections and paternal leave coming. All you fathers, paternity leave is coming. You don't have an excuse. You can't stay home. You can't help out. Maybe the pregnancy was hard or difficult or complicated and you don't have a leave. I don't know what leave you could have taken before. That's a real question. You know, we complain about men and their involvement in family and child care, but we are now seeing provisions being made which are in keeping with modern labor laws in developed countries, in the UK, in Scotland, in Ireland, in Norway. For certain countries, these things were long thought out. But let us start first with what is going on that wicket in Tobago. What are our predictions? Now, Tobago has their own issues. And Tobago is in a peculiar situation because of its relationship with central government and how that relationship is governed. Now, if you've never worked or lived in Tobago, a lot of this might seem quite much to do about nothing to you. However, Tobagonians themselves have been on the hustlings and they have been on the road articulating different issues. Well, we know typically while some people on the road, some people getting on low with the beverage of their choice. And some people find that it's a time for revelry. All these things have been associated with Trinidad politics, and not maybe Trinidad if you watch it through the region. Mamagay and Pekong, allegations, Mark Bussin, all of these things we seem to think are just synonymous with elections, but I want to say today that there are real issues for Tobagonians. There are real issues for Tobagonians, and today they have to decide whether the Farley-led THA, as it stands, are those they choose to carry them forward. We know they have been allocated a record sum in the budget, as just read by Finance Minister Tanku. They got more than they could ever dream of. But what are the plans for Tobago going forward? What are the burning issues? What are the things that Tobagonians face that we maybe in Trinidad may take for granted or can't understand? And will Tobago, has Mr. Farley done enough to save his score and to keep his lead and maintain his dominance in the THA? Or has Mr. Dennis and the PNM faction with Selvon Morris, have they made inroads in Tobago? Have they made inroads in Tobago? Has the former minister, Miss Kojo, has she and the others made inroads into this Augustine-led THA? Be it as it may, Trinidad Tobago issues cannot be always twinned with Trinidad, and we cannot see the elections in that light. And we always hear the talk about stay out, are we business? We always hear that, simply emphasizing Tobago's autonomy and Tobago's right of self-determination in terms of the electoral process and determining who will lead the THA. Now, last election, the results were astounding. Last election, the results were astounding. That is not to say that it will go the same way. We are not too sure. Politics is a funny thing. We have a funny electorate. We have a funny electorate, and we are not sure what they will do this time. We are not too sure what will happen this time. So we are waiting with bated breath, keeping our eyes on what could be another landslide victory for Farley, the Chief Sec, and his team, or we are not too sure the red team will make a comeback. So, before we get into the heavy stuff, I want to hear your predictions today. Do you predict a landslide victory? That's one option. Do you predict a PNM victory, a landslide victory for the Farley side? Do you predict the PNM will win it, or you see Mr. Augustine winning it but losing some ground? Or you see the PNM winning it but the Farley side maintaining some ground? In any case, you give me your predictions. But tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why you've been watching on the TV. It's hard to tell just looking at it like this, but you are the scientist. You remember you all are in the pavilion, eh? You all watching this game. So you all have a good idea of how the tie is going. You tell me how you see it. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Relax. Hey, no, blessed good afternoon to you and the entire team. Hope all is well. Brand new week. So I'm excited. Happy you all on today. I really just want to answer your question or contribute to your question about what do you think Tobagonians may want. In terms of that, I think from what I gather watching TV and everything, I think Tobagonians really just want the opportunity to prosper and develop. They mentioned the tourism, and they may have like persons who might be business persons or creating nice little products, maybe connected to agriculture and tourism. So I really think they just want the opportunity to develop as a people. That's the most contribution I could give. So I'll leave it there. In terms of who I think will win, I haven't been following. I don't know too much about that. So, but thanks and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon. Our single umpire at this moment. Great topic. But I am predicting a 15-0. A whitewash for election in Tobago. And the reason why is based on what they call self-determination in politics. The Tobago people are fighting for autonomy and in group dynamics, based on what they term negative entropy. If you do not support your group will vote against you. Right? So this is the situation. Right? I don't know what happened in Tobago over the weekend to change that, but on political, what they call political thought, know how the TPP could lose this election because there's a cause that election is a cause the people fighting on self-determination. So I'm awaiting the results, and that is my contribution for this hour. So thank you, brother.
Thank you. Now, we just looking back at the last election on the 6th of December 2021, where there were 15 seats, 15 members to be elected, and the PDP, sorry, at that time, was the PDP, they won 14-1. Ending 21 consecutive years of the PNM control of the THA. That was a remarkable victory in many rights, politically and otherwise analytically. It was very remarkable. So tell me, do you see a 14-1? Do you see a 15-0? How do you see it? Tell me, members of the pavilion, the number to call is 342-0081. 4665391. How do you see this election today? The wicket might be a little different. There may be different issues. The Chavez-Augustine led team would have been in the wicket for a while. I am not too sure everyone has been totally happy. There have been divisive issues like the radar and other issues. But are there issues really in this election? I am not too sure. I don't know how you call it. I don't know how you see it. You give me a call on 342-0081, 4665391, and give me your predictions. Tell me how you call this election. Do you call it for the TPP because it's not PDP anymore? Or do you think the PNM has had a good look and will make a resurgence in this election? I don't know if you see it from the pavilion where you sit in. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how you will see it, or how it plays out in your mind. But surely this election is key. We have seen members of the Farley team in the parliament. They are in the parliament. So that is in the general election, that's on the national level. So now in some of the banter about the elections, you know, I think one strategy has been is to portray the leader of the THA, the present leader, as a proxy for the central government, thereby appealing to a particular sentiment in Tobagonians who do not want to see Tobago controlled, quote unquote, and I'm using it loosely, by Trinidad. Especially in the light of, as the caller just talked about, autonomy and self-governance. So they always tend to say a vote for the Augustine team is a vote for the UNC. Well, definitely the UNC is not a party in this election. They are not a part in this election in no way, shape or form in terms of the ballot paper. But definitely there have been allegations and rumors of allegiances and other things which seek to discredit the autonomy and the vision of the present leader of the THA. Much of that has been debunked, openly on the platforms and on the campaign trail. Will it influence how Tobagonians vote? I am not too sure, because if so, some have not been too happy with recent developments in central government. That's the other thing why I question the timing of all of this. But so be it. This is THA elections and they have their things to do. So you call me and tell me on 342-0081-4665391. You are members of the pavilion. How do you see this THA election? How do you see this THA election? We are not hearing Mr. Duke, as we would normally hear him, to the front. So Mr. Duke is playing a very strategic role. And this time, Mr. Duke is not out front at all. He is there, but, maybe wisdom dictates that he plays a particular role, well coordinated. Hats off to those who are handling and managing this entire campaign. We did see a mending of the fences and a gesture at the beginning. Will that provide more ammunition and support for the Farley Augustine team? Or would it backfire? Will it seem as gimmick? Will it seem as joke? Call me and tell me on the third umpire. 342-0081-4665391. It's minutes to 5. How do you see this THA elections? And make no mistake, these elections are very important. Even for our Trinidad context, these elections are very, very important. They might be a sounding board for what may be to come in the future on the general election trail. We heard the leader of the opposition, the leader of the bowling side, give an open call for PNM members to come home last week. Come home to the PNM. We're sorry, forgive us. We hurt you, come home. Which our extensions may come home and vote. But even the question of the involvement of the political leader present and the past political leader in the THA elections may not really go down too well with everyone. It may not. That might be remnants of something that this present incarnation of youth and voters are trying to forget. And what you're doing is maybe trying to make them remember. And that backfires. Call me on 342-0081, members of the pavilion. Prezi and company, Dr. West, everybody, you all out there, how do you all see it? How do you all see it? Barataria, caller from Barataria, how do you all see it out there? This THA elections, I know we may not have been paying too much close of a call. You might be playing too much notice to it in light of other domestic situations going on right here. However, what happens in Tobago, just like what happens in Venezuela, affects us. It does. So, call me on 342-0081-4665391 and tell me how you see this THA election. Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, Mr. Mr. Matrafegi. All right. What's happening? I believe that this election here is more or less a referendum in Tobago, and it is for self-determination, right? And I can see no reason why the TPP cannot win a landslide tonight or today. Another big factor, which is not common to Trinidad, is the presence of a large Seventh-day Adventist community in Tobago, right? So the demographics in Tobago plenty different, or a lot different from what is in Trinidad. And the people in Tobago are fighting a cause, and I think they see this year as the best opportunity to gain that cause. Right? And there's election right there. It's a referendum for self-determination. Okay, brother, so you take care later.
Okay, thank you, caller. Self-determination. Rising like a phoenix from the dust. Do you see Mr. Ansel Dennis and his team as making inroads, and the people of Tobago following the call of their political leader, and I use that word in inverted commas, of the PNM, although she's elected political leader? Do you see people honoring that call to come home? They will regroup, they will gather, and we might have a turn of the events. Is that how you see it? From your neck of the woods, give me a call. 342-008-146-65391. 342-008-146-65391, and tell me how you see it. We noticed that the police service is fully deployed on Monday, that's today, for the THA elections, and that is DCP Suzette Martin has said, you know. So the police are out in full force. For those of you who use elections as an opportunity to misbehave, please note that the police are out in full force. Do not. For those of you who feel it's time to get drunk, good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rolox. Well, I have been following the developments in terms of the political campaign in Tobago, not with much fervor, but as far as I see, I don't think that the PDP, that party under Chavez, Augustine, or whatever his name, I don't think he's going to lose. He's going to lose. I think he may, in fact, maintain, power in Tobago. And but I think that there may be some, some changes here and there. But I think he would maintain his majority there. Tobago, I think the people themselves, I think, are very rational people. I think that they think, and to a large extent, they're politically educated. And I think they know what is best for them. And so you have to wait. What I don't know the extent to which he has been successful in implementing his plans and programs that he would have put forward in the last election. But he's a dynamic leader, and I think in terms of leadership, Chavez has been, in fact, he has demonstrated to be. He's still young and a lot to learn still, but to me, he seems to be the best among the lot. And he's a very young person, and he has a clear path ahead of him. So I expect that he's going to win. Apart from that, I am saying that one of the things that you would factor in, because the opposition was there and they campaigned very hard there, and they took into, they took on board a number of issues that, in fact, they tried to manufacture issues when none existed. And I don't think that the people bought into it. Another thing I think that I think the people would take into consideration is that they would have to work with the central government. And you would have to work with the central government for the full 4 years. You would have to work with them. And this, in fact, the central government has demonstrated that willingness to work with them and to, meet their demands or their needs, I can't see them going otherwise, because what you don't want, you want to have a good working relationship with a party that is in power and would be there for the entire 4 years, and who has demonstrated that willingness to serve the needs of the people. One has to be highly irrational not to consider that. So I have no fear, and probably I think that they're going to win probably about at least the same 14, if not the entire 15. But politics is politics again. You can't predict. You can't really predict. And in light that there hasn't been anywhere, there hasn't been any poll. There was no polling taking place. So I don't want to go by what I feel and too much speculation. There were no polls. And this is the problem with Trinidad. You have political scientists. They poll when they want to poll, and they tell you what they feel based on gut feeling, intuition. I feel that is going to happen. I don't know that in 2026, I don't think we should be operating at that level. You do poll, and because you can't use the numbers from the last elections to seek to tell people or to inform people that is likely to happen. No, you have polls. As they say, a poll is a snapshot of what is occurring at the present moment. Things change. Sometimes you have a poll. When we did poll with Ryan and all these people, and they poll right up to the date of the election. You telling me about what happened in yes, it may turn out to be right. What I'm saying is that I can't depend on what you're saying, because that is guesswork. Can't you, Mr. Rollock?
No problem, caller. Thanks for your contribution. And in this election, we have the IDA, the Innovative Democratic Alliance, with 11 candidates, the People's National Movement with 15 candidates, the Tobago People's Party with 15 candidates, and Unity of the People with 1 candidate. So 42 candidates contest this election today. So we have to wait and see. We're going for a drinks break soon. When we get back, we'll get deeper into it. But we have 42 candidates contesting the election today. I am seeing the literature here without going much into it. One political commentator is saying that a higher voter turnout favors the PNM. And we may have a toss-up between the Red Revival and the Blue Wave. The Red Revival versus the Blue Wave. Some have cautioned that we may not see that large victory. In fact, one pollster suggests it's a 10-5 affair, not 14-1, which suggests that the PNM has gained some ground and the TPP has lost some ground. We're not sure. But those are predictions by some analysts, some political scientists. They say this is the crossroads for Tobago. The national election, we know how that went. The general election, we know how that went. Let's see the TPP bring it home. Let's see if the TPP could bring it home. I know most of us not concerned with Tobago like that. We just go on the beach and come back home. But for those of us who have relatives or who have had associations, work or otherwise in Tobago, you understand how charged these elections are. You will understand how charged these elections are. So, we're going to come back after the drinks break, and we're going to get into some deeper issues of the THE elections and what exactly have been the issues enunciated thus far by the candidates about Tobago's development and Tobago's own domestic agenda, and who will lead in that effort. Join us after the break. Third Empire.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Nature's Touch Massage Therapy and Nutrition and Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan invites you to join us live on the Street 919 FM every second and fourth Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp the numbers 398-8282 or our office numbers 241-7568 and 310-8671. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our responsibility.
Building dreams, delivering excellence. That's McClatchy Construction Company Limited. Since 2008, McClatchy Construction has grown into one of Trinidad and Tobago's most trusted names in construction. From residential homes to large-scale commercial and industrial projects, we bring integrity, innovation, and professionalism to every endeavor. Our services include general contracting, design and build, construction management, restorations, renovations, structural steelworks, infrastructure development, home construction, and equipment rental. Whatever your vision, we have the expertise to bring it to life. With over 17 years of proven experience and a portfolio of landmark projects, more than 70% of our work comes from repeat clients, a true testament to our quality and reliability. For trusted construction solutions, contact McClatchy Construction Company Limited at 221-5405 or 222-5897 or via email. admin@mcclatchyconstruction.com. McClatchy Construction Company Limited, building strong foundations for a better tomorrow.
The Lion Brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori fried baked roti and doubles too, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, Lion Brand is the reason. When the Lion Brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion Brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion Brand.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m., Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Hail Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Torlish, Carice Pascal, D. Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Rain. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Brio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200, at the door $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Tubo South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
What are you doing? Crunchnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood and we vein, we need KFC again and again. Time to crunch, time to crunch, time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look the touchdown now. KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchnival.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, take off, like rocket. It's a Crunchnival with the baddest booking. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunchnival. The KFC chicken joy carnival and every crunch with KFC. When the tail bass moves your waist, you know it's Crunch Nival at KFC.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, 3, go! It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and the joyous spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from King's Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion, pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yeah, and we're back concerning the THA elections, and political analysts have said that voter turnout is critical to decide who wins THA elections today. Raghunath predicts more voters may favor the PNM. Mohammed sees 10-5 TPP victory. Okay? So political analysts are saying that the winners of today's Tobago House of Assembly election depends on voter turnout. In fact, a political scientist says that the People's National Movement may be counting on a higher voter turnout for victory. That's interesting. At the moment, Tobago stands at political crossroads caught between the Red Revival, as we've said, and the Blue Wave in a definitive election that both the TPP and the People's National Movement claim is already theirs to lose. As the clock ticks down, both parties are guarding their numbers closely, declining to reveal the specifics of internal polling, but behind the curtain statistics are important, and behind the curtain of statistical secrecy is a common thread, an unshakable confidence, with both camps convinced that they have already secured the road to victory. The TPP enters today's race defending a massive mandate, though now flying a blue flag and new identity following its split from the PDP in 2023. The party's leadership is looking to replicate the historic 14-1 landslide that they secured under the PDP banner in December 2021. It was a victory that ended 2 decades of PNM dominance and fundamentally shifted Tobago's political landscape. So we're coming up to another break. So we just thought we'd put that in there to give you all context to this discussion. How do you see this race today? When we come back from this break, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me when we come back from this break, how do you see this race today? Do you see a sweeping victory from the Blue Wave, according to TPP's chair, Natasha second? Do you see it that way? We're not too sure. We are not too sure. Or do you see a clean sweep? 50-0. Which includes claiming the one PNM district, which is Darrell Spring Wim. which the PDP only lost by 3 votes in 2021. Would the PDP come and take Darrell Spring Rim from the PNM this time around? Or would the PNM maintain Darrell Spring Rim and build on that? We can't say as yet. Join us after the break for more Election Watch.
See me here. See me then. See me here. Situation. Stimulation. Soca. Nation. Pelvis. Gyration. Occupation. Celebration. Demonstration. See me then. Hold on, pon me now. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, hold on, pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, yeah. Trini, Beja, Vincy, Jamaica, Belize, Antigua, Beckway, Grenada, Guyanese, Venezuela, St. Kitts, Dominica, Haiti, Lucia. So then, hold on, pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, hold on, pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, yeah. Italy, Germany, New Guinea, Switzerland, Bali, Sweden, France, Cuba, Australia, Amsterdam, Holland, Panamania, Spain, Rotterdam, Ethiopia, Nigeria. Pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, hold on, pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, yeah. Situation, stimulation, soca, nation, pelvis, gyration, occupation, demonstration, celebration. So then, hold on, pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, hold on, pon me now, yeah. I just make she feel sweet, yeah. I just make she feel nice, yeah. When I drive in it deep, 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 deep. See me then, see me here.
Clear the way and turn the volume up to the max. It's time for the Soca Pick of the Day, sponsored by NLCB. And that is your Soca Pick of the Day. Keep it locked right here for more of the biggest hits and the sweetest vibes, sponsored by NLCB.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, 3, go! It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
So we're back. The TPP manifesto is anchored on a push for near state level self-government, proposing a new self-government constitution by 2026, the replacement of the THA with a Tobago Island government and legislature by 2027, expanded lawmaking powers, fiscal autonomy, including tax authority, and a share of the offshore energy revenues, and new institutions for governance and local security. Beyond autonomy, the party outlines an ambitious development agenda focused on Tobago-centric education and digital learning, population growth supported by child benefits and childcare, economic diversification beyond tourism, expanded high-end and ecotourism, food security, healthcare modernization, and broader social protection. positioning autonomy as a driver of long-term growth and resilience. So I want you to continue. Call me on 234-2008-146-65391. Tell me how you see this match going in Tobago. How do you see it? Do you see it as a 14-1, 15-0, 10-5? How do you see it? Do you see Dr. Soyafat making any inroads with her group that is also contesting the election? The number to call is 342-008-146-65391. Those numbers are 342-008-146-65391. How do you see this present THA elections? How do you see this present THA elections? How do you see it? What do you see from your rocking chair, from your veranda, from your peep hole in the wall? How do you see this THA elections? Do you see inroads by the PNM or resurgence of the Ansel Dennis regime coming back? May not win, but to take some seats with them? Or do you see a continued dominance of the Farley Chavez Augustine-led THA? Don't forget to call 342-008-146-65391. Members of the pavilion, you out there, you can't be fooled. You listening to the news, you watching the TV. You cannot be fooled. You have an opinion too, and I want your opinion. How do you see this? You've heard conversations with Dr. Rowley. Will that shift the balance? You've heard the opposition leader say, time to come home. We love you. We forgive you. Yes, we went wrong. How do you see it? Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, how are you doing? We're going to. Hello?
Yes, sir. We hear you. Load on your radio or
Yeah.
Just.
I'm doing that. So,
yes, we hear you. No problem. We hear you.
Yeah, bro. They will leave out Rowley and Penny and them out. Right? What I want in Tobago, I don't want a 15-0 game. This lady, Miss Soyafat Angus, I would like she to win her district, to bring some variety in the house. And I want to, I would like the PNM people to win a few seats. I don't believe they will win because it's projected that the PDP will win. That wouldn't be nothing shocking to nobody. Right? I would like to have a little mix in there saying, you know? No, Mr. Augustine, I think I said that on the program before, he had 14 out of his 15 seats. And how he governed, well, it leave a lot to be desired. But his main problem was he was stifled by the former regime. Okay? So you could take or leave that. But I don't want to see no 15-0 again. Because as I said before, I look at how he governed when he had 14 out of the 15 seats. And if he get back 15 seats, well, we're in a worst case scenario with the economy. But I tell you on this program already, I do believe them getting no $3 billion. Remember I told you that from early.
Yes, you said that.
I can't see that. So what I'm saying is, I want mix, but I want this lady included, Miss Soyafat Angus. I believe she has something to bring to the table. But I just listened to the news there on another frequency, and it seems as though it have a very low voter turnout in Tobago, which I didn't expect in. You understand? So the PDP is projected to win. But I don't want them to get no 15 of the seats, because how I see it, and I hope I'm wrong, the PNM, the Tobago people, it seems to me they don't want to know how the place governed. Them just want to know that PNM will win. And I find that doesn't make any sense. They have to want the place to be governed properly. And we know, according to Tobagonians themselves, that the place was not governed properly in the last 4 years by Fari. You understand? So I believe the PDP might win or will win, but I want a mix. I want a few PNM people, and I want this lady, Miss Soyefatangas. All right, bro? That's my take on the matter.
So, caller, are you suggesting that the present TPP-led THA needs to be a little more accountable to the people by way of having more opposition in the House?
Well, if they have opposition in the House, they wouldn't be more accountable.
Correct.
They will have to be on their toes. Whatever they plan to do, they will have to do it in a different way, because you are wrong.
Yes.
You know what happened with the 14th seat.
Yes.
You understand? And I do believe, that is me, I believe Tobago and I want to go back on that. You want to hear different views.
Yes.
You understand? I wouldn't say challenge, but you want the other people in the House to challenge the incumbent, the executive of the TPP. You understand? Because you're going back. They said they win the 15th seat.
Yeah.
And they get rid of the PNM, because that's the main focus. Then what? What?
It's supposed to be paradise after that.
It ain't going to be no paradise. We have an economic situation. You know that. I'm not going back that with you, you know. You know the situation here. And all them things I hear they promising in Tobago. Remember where the finance coming from? Hello?
Correct.
And you know for a fact, and it's not going to happen. I can't see them getting 3 billion. I say that for every time I hear the budget. Not that I don't want them to get it, you know.
Yes,
economically,
it's not possible.
I don't see it viable. You understand?
But caller, you think we are politically mature enough in both in Trinidad and Tobago to be able to tell people the truth about the situation and win an election?
Listen, that is what you see. This present administration here that is in power right now.
Yes,
that is what they were supposed to do. Because I tell you, I heard it. Miss DeSessa said in 2024, late 2024, election was in the air. She said this country is bankrupt. The government is running from month to month, and we have no money. And I commended her for that. You hear me?
Yes.
I commended her. After she made that statement, Mr. Keith come and say, we got a ban with belly until 2027. Now the both of them was saying almost the same thing. You know?
Yes.
You understand? And then they talk about, then this thing with the SRC coming and this something was 45%, which really was 27%.
Yes.
And they project it as though only the key to only people benefit. 900 people benefit from that. You know that.
Yes.
From that decision. So that is what was supposed to be done. Ms. Visasa had said it, and I follow her. She was to come and let the country know. She'd have been a better place now. She was supposed to let me know, look, think bad, because even though she didn't tell, we know. Well, people who in sync with what's happening knows that.
Yeah.
But then you come now on the campaign trail without no improvement in the economy, and you make all these promises. No, so what happened? Who didn't listen? Maybe they fall for that. You understand? We in a correct situation here. You know. I listening them in Tobago, you know, the both sides. Promising us certain things. it is not going to materialize, and we leaders were supposed to level with the population. It had difficult times, level with me. And trust me, the present regime would have been in a better position. Because listen, when we generate revenue in the near future, use a man around. From where? This is a serious situation. I see people come out at Christmas going into carnival like people kind of happy go lucky them. We in a bad place. And that lady was supposed to level with her. I was happy when she said that. I commend she. But then you come now and you offset everything by the promises you made. No, you was not truthful. I don't want to take up much time. You understand?
Yeah.
But as you asked me, I just said that.
Yes, I appreciate it. I
You
appreciate the
understand?
comments.
They don't level with we, man.
Yeah.
And listen, we are wrong, you know. When they say certain things, I will just laugh. You understand? I hear why. And it's not now the economy sliding. You know that.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, sir.
Never spoke to you for the New Year. I think I spoke to the other gentleman. Now, according to the gentleman who's here long, the economy starts sliding in 2014, when oil price went down. Because what we fail to realize as Spring Begonians, all the talk called the heart, Mr. Manning, and railway, there was a recession in 2008. Several banks in America closed down. Ponzi scheme collapsed. We had Stanford. And our economy, did not feel it. Kudos to Mr. Manning. And we sailed through that. But they come and sing a song that the railway, the rapid rail, is going to bankrupt the economy and give them 29 seats, People's Partnership. And they promised us a whole heap of change. No corruption. Say don't appoint Mr. Warner, and they still put in Mr. Warner. And Mr. Manning is spending our debt to GDP. And this is not the first time this opposition did that to us. Mr. Manning is spending debt to GDP is going too high. Mr. Manning spending $43 billion. Bill Napa, Sapa, you name it. Other two OPVs, we have blimp, kidnapping, going down, we have choppers with $43 billion.
So, caller, how you see this THE election? How you, from your view, do you see a clean sweep, or do you see the PNM making inroads in this 14-1?
They might make some inroads.
Right.
You see, because the population is still hoodwinked, because Tobago hasn't felt what Trinidad felt really and truly, you know. They play the game off well.
Right.
When we sent home CPEP workers, forestry workers, Tobago didn't feel that. You understand the point?
Right.
So the economic hardship that the poor man, what we consider in Trinidad, is facing, in Tobago, he has not felt that as yet. So that alone plays on the population. But if they sit down and look at the politics, not just from a Tobago standpoint, but from an economic standpoint with Trinidad and Tobago, they realize that, as the gentleman said, the Prime Minister said, we're running on month to month. That was said to us. Tighten your belt. So I tell them, now we ain't tightening. The man said, tighten my belt. Now they tell me, tighten my belt, stop breathe. Because my road fines has gone up. And I said to Mr. Matheson last sometime, if Trump, although I see the two big oil tycoons telling Trump, well, I don't think I'm going to spend $100 million. How much you talking about down there, you know? Because me ain't sure when I go and get that back. Because if the oil price go down in the morning, with that heavy crude that they want to send to to the North Coast or wherever coast in America, and America gets an abundance of oil and able to carry down gasoline prices to reduce inflation in America, that means oil prices around the world most likely, because oil prices are traded in US dollars. So this big $75 budget oil that our revenue is based on, with a $3 billion deficit and a public servant debt that was not included in the budget, we are in an economic tailspin. Any right thing, Moody's has even given us a downgrade. And you know when Moody's is bumping up there, they say, oh, study that, Moody's this, no, Moody's get a downgrade. You know, not a man ain't saying a word. We must just sit back and don't say anything. So Tobago, as I told them, if 1990 and the recession that we went through, IMF coming to Trinidad, if these young generation that was 10 years old in 2010 and was able to vote, and who was able to vote for the People's Partnership because they get a laptop, they would experience what we experienced by going to the IMF and watching my money move from $2.35 US and all the way up to $7 today. So this generation be able have to experience that, where everybody at one time in Trinidad and Tobago, all they don't know, could only drive a Bluebird or a Cortina, no cars over 2,000 cc's. Remember that, partner?
Yeah.
Enjoy evening.
Thank you, caller. Well, before I go any further, I want to say good afternoon to Senior Matterson. He's here. So my square leg is here. Good afternoon, Senior Matterson.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all our listeners and callers. And it's a great day in Trinidad and Tobago. And I say Trinidad and Tobago, we still have a democracy. We have elections in Tobago today. And that signals something good for Trinidad and Tobago. I was listening, I just turned on, just had an opportunity to listen to about 5 minutes of the program, and he was asking the question of what do we see, where do we see this elections going. I think that from what I see in Tobago and what I'm hearing on the ground, I think the PDP will win the elections. They would win at least what they had, or they probably could lose one or two seats, more in the western area. That is my prediction. But what that would say for Tobago, if after this run, and we hear everybody talk about the fact that we don't have money and things, if with that all that has happened, and the predictions of most of your callers with respect to how much money Tobago will get from the budget, if all of that didn't move Tobago, then I think Tobago and Trinidad, with respect to politics, will be experiencing a watershed moment, I would call it. A watershed moment, because if that kind of movement in the economy and everything didn't move the people, especially in the last 3 months, to shift the votes, then they are really saying something to the PNM. And that, what they're saying to the PNM, is not a good thing. So the PNM still playing the same kind of backward politics. I've looked over the weekend with that incident in Tobago. They're still playing the same kind of backward politics that we thought that had come out of. So clearly they still doesn't understand why they lose the election the first time and why they're going to lose the election again. And that is a challenge for the PNM and the politics in Trinidad and Tobago. The other thing is, I heard a lot of callers say that things not going to happen, the economy bad. Well, if the economy is so bad, it's bad for both the PNM and the UNC. So what the PNM will do different from what the UNC doing? And that's the question people have to ask. And if the PNM had 10 years or how much to run and they couldn't do it, give somebody else a chance to do it. And let them do it. They know who start. Right? So, I mean, it's a good thing that Trinidad and Tobago acknowledge that things real bad in Trinidad and Tobago. So they understand the austerity measures that has to be put in place to at least get some kind of revenue to run take the country to the next level. So, I mean, it is left to be seen. Let's see what's happening. I'm predicting that Fali will get about 13 seats, and that's my prediction. I'll wait to hear what the callers have to say after the break on the other side of the hour.
So callers, you heard, we're going to have a short break. When we come back, we take your calls. All of you who've been calling, join us after the break.
Road March energy? Check. Royal Castle flavor? Double check. Let's dive into the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we head into the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Truck with the girl, them up on the top, play. Then with me drinks all and they come with the girl, them winding it up and play. Oh Lord, yes I'm a road man, oh yes I am a road man, and every year me program to take me and me work and go over on the stage, Hey farmer, see your messages. I promise you this ain't the road vestiges. Thanks for checking on me and my whole team. I see you asking if I finish with the road scene. I say I'm done with competition, I am finished with the road. My carnival show is on a different episode. It don't matter if I crowd or if it is me alone. I will be still up by the truck with the girl them up on the top. Plane. They with me drinks all of me cup with the girl them winding it up and playing. Oh Lord, yes I a road man, oh yes I am a road man, and every year me program to take me and me one gang go over on the stage. Jumping is the slogan, and Shelly and the Josan, they come and strike a pose and they take the front page. Yes I a road man, yes I a road man, and every year me program to go up on the stage.
was the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
And we're back. We're back on the street 91.9 FM. So those of you who wanted to call in and weigh in on the elections and give your predictions as how you see it. We have a caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Well, you know, it's still minutes to 6, and giving a prediction now is really perhaps not the best thing to do. But I just want to make a couple of observations here.
Go ahead.
That if Tobago has voted the way in which your co-host just said that they voted, it means that Tobago accepts that they can be a colony of Trinidad, and Trinidad could always do to them whatever they choose to. And I find that difficult to swallow. Now, I want to tell you something, you and your co-host. There is nothing wrong with the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. What is wrong in Trinidad and Tobago is theft, graft, and corruption. This is a country where on a Saturday morning, you have traffic jams from X to Z all over the place. Commercial houses are making money by mint, hand over fist, right? Engineers, doctors, lawyers, everybody's making money. How many paying taxes? You see, Dr. Rowley said in 2019 while he was turning the sod for the Port of Spain hospital block, that figures made available to him was that we were only collecting 60% of all collectible revenue. Now, reverse back to the year 2009, when Mr. Manning said to the UNC, we need to put in a revenue authority. Now, the only way you could have gotten that passed in the original concept of a revenue authority is that the UNC had to support you. Simple as that. But the UNC decided to place sanctions on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Because if Dr. Rowley's figures was right, with we collecting $40 billion annually, it would mean that $26 billion was out in the wind. And Tony Wilson of The Guardian, the financial editor, wrote an article and said that it is the greatest white-collar crime that is committed every day on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Every year you lost billions of dollars, and you make no effort to collect it. The UNC placed sanctions on Trinidad and Tobago because they know if they ruin the economy, they would start to look good and the PNM will look bad. Don't say the PNM didn't have a plan. The PNM have a plan, but it included the entire government, the entire parliament to put the plan in place. Because if you don't have the votes,
10 years,
you
boy?
have no... Yes.
10 years, boy?
Yes, because
years,
let me put it to... Sir, I want to say this to you. There's a party across the pond in the USA called the Democrats. They have been trying for 30 years to get sensible gun law legislation passed, but they can't pass it because the Republicans would not join them to pass it. It is the same thing in Trinidad. The UNC blocked every effort.
So you're saying, with the existing laws we have, right? And the existing tax system, we couldn't collect that tax you're talking about?
No, we're not collecting it. You want to know why?
Why we couldn't collect it?
The public service is corrupted. And within the BIR, it's more corrupted.
So what would have made it different with the Revenue Authority? What would have made it different with the Revenue Authority?
Because the Revenue Authority brought new laws, new structures, it set KPIs.
But we have laws to collect taxes already.
No. Let me finish saying what I'm saying, please. It set KPIs, and it also produced jail time for those involved in tax fraud and everything else. Just like you have it in the USA, where Wesley Stantz went to prison, where Leona Hempy went to prison, because you must pay your taxes. How can you run a country knowing like IMF and World Bank telling you that you have $26 billion out in the wind every year? That is not madness.
I will agree with you to the extent that the Revenue Authority would have brought a new system but it does not say your thesis. I think your hypothesis is bad. Let me tell you why.
Part of my hypothesis or thesis
because
is bad?
the existing tax structure, right,
yes,
could collect the taxes.
Oh yeah,
you know where we have massive. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You know where we have massive hemorrhage.
Tell me.
You see them oil companies and thing. The taxes and thing, which all of them could fix. Right. We have massive hemorrhages there.
And the first thing that already came on when
we have massive hemorrhages.
He dealt with that. He dealt with that, and because of the way he dealt with it, during his time in office, we were collecting an extra $3 billion more from the oil companies. He dealt with it. But the others out there who are in the wind, stealing the people's money, that is why we are in the calamity that we are in. And let me put it to you this way. If this same problem existed in Canada and they put in a revenue authority. In Jamaica next door, they do it once. Barbados next door, they are all reaping the successes of it. What's wrong in Trinidad and Tobago? You want to know why? These people who are stealing our money have conspirators in government with them.
You mean so that conspirators and the PNM too then?
Well, tell me who they are. Because the PNM have been trying since Mr. Manning David in 2009 to get it passed. Who are the conspirators, the PNM?
So you and I sat side by side in General Council.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
At the PNM, right?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
And you know exactly how things are done and how monies are made by political and everybody. You know.
So let me tell you something. I want to tell you something. When a nation exists, it builds institutions because institutions are bulwarks and they last a lifetime. This hodgepodge thing by the new minister, the reason why they wasn't collecting any money, he was smarter than Wendell Motley, smarter than all the other ministers that came before him, is because the PLM refused to staff it. So he's going to staff it and he's going to collect the money. And that is why they're in the winter, they're still trying to scrape up money. Everybody knows that within the BIR, they are thieves, they are criminals. People have gotten arrested, money in their account. They go and say this man owed 13 billion.
All that with all the different banking rules and all that kind of thing. And you see what you saying there, nobody again look up.
Don't you know that? Don't you know that conspirators in the bank too?
And nobody again look up.
Don't you know? Because they're all benefiting from it.
So the revenue authority will have changed that. The revenue authority will have changed that.
The point, yes, it would have, because let me tell you something. The Revenue Authority would have digitally identified all of those who have to pay their taxes. It would have gone after them one by one. It would have set up systems whereby you have to have certain key performance indicators. And when they are not there, the person involved will have to account. And when they cannot account, they have to be fired.
Let me explain something to you. Stay on the line.
Go ahead, explain.
Let me explain something.
Yeah.
You see that landlord tax that the government implement?
Yeah, it's a foolish one.
No, you're saying it's a foolish one because you see, the thing about it, people don't critically think, and the government need to put another component to that, right?
Go ahead.
All them landlords who thinking that they could raise rent and do that to offset it. If I was the government, what I would have done, I would have given everybody who paying tax, who paying rent, a 10% discount. Just now. Let me finish now. I'll give everybody who paying rent a 10% tax break on the rent they paid, and give every single landlord on every single receipt must have the number, identification number for the landlord. So the government, once you apply for that, you will know once you apply for that tax break, you will know exactly who you pay rent to.
So I want to explain something to you. When you see a man with a huge apartment building with 18 apartments in it, he is not a fellow who running somebody under his house. He's a businessman. Okay? Property tax law would have identified all of those persons. And when it identified them, they would have been drawn into the net where you as a business person have to pay 30% taxes when the year comes. So all of the money you made, you have to pay a 30% tax.
And they're doing that right now? They're doing that right now?
Listen to me. What the government has done now, they say you have to pay $2.5 to register and then we're going to tax you. That's what they are saying. But at the end of the day, I want to make it clear that is a hodgepodge arrangement. You realize the government came into office and you realize they have not yet repealed the property taxes. You realize property taxes is still there. They have to go to law to repeal it. It is still there. Because that has several complications with it, and they know it also. What they'll be doing is Gary with the tax telling, we give you this, we give you that. The only thing they wasn't want to give you was, let me tell you something, that campaign that they run in 2025, it was like a Nigerian letter. We have a BMW for you, we have $2 million US, we have this, we have gold, we have jewelry in a box. Right? Just give me $10,000, or just give me a vote and you're going to get it. It was a foolish campaign.
But the foolish campaign, they won the elections with it, and I think PNM had an even more foolish campaign then. PNM had an even more foolish campaign.
Is that why drivers on the road now cussing and calling them all kind of names?
Well, they was cussing and they vote out the PNM because of the same thing. They was cussing and carrying on with the PNM too.
Well, you see, I would say this to you. I'll say this to you. People are now realizing the chickens are coming home to roost. You cannot run the country without money. And the UNC have placed sanctions on this country since 2009 when Mr. Manning said, let us put in a revenue authority.
So I'm glad. So good. You're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with that austerity measures has to be.
In 10 years. Yes, they cannot fix it because Dr. Rowley was the king. He was the Donald Trump. He can't wake up in the morning and write the law. That's why you can't cross the street. He's not a king. There's a parliament to come to. He's a prime minister.
So you are proposing even more tax.
No.
What are you saying?
What I am proposing is that those who are legitimately due to pay the taxes should all pay it. And what Mr. Manning said, he said everybody pay their taxes. You know what? We might find that we have so much money that we lower the taxes for everybody. Because right now, those who are paying are carrying the burden of those who are not paying. That is the problem in the country. And you want to come here about paying away 10 years to fix it. They cannot fix it. Just like the Democrats in the USA cannot have sensible gun law. Because you have to go to the parliament and get the votes in order to get it to get done. And you have to have the political willpower to do it. So at the end of the day, so I would only say to you, the PNM has a plan for this country. But if the UNC has power in the parliament, they would always place sanctions on the people of Trinidad and Tobago and allow other people to steal the money.
Well, you're saying, you see, the PNM has a plan for the country. You remember the time when Basio Pandey won the election and he called the PNM the if I woulda shoulda government? You remember?
No, that was Ramesh. Ramesh did that.
Right. Whoever said that? Yes. If I woulda shoulda. Yes. That's how you're singing. Because the PNM was there for the PNM was there. Listen, the PNM was there for 10 years. They were there for 10 years.
You don't understand. Dr. Rowley was not a king.
Right. So Kamala is not a queen.
Yeah, but let me put it to you this way. All she has to do is go to the parliament and vote.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, PNM could do the same thing.
But you cannot vote if you don't have the numbers. I kept telling you the same reason.
So the UNC are the numbers now.
The Republicans won't support it.
The PNM will support whatever Kamala proposed?
My political leader, Ms. Penelope Beckers, has said that bring good laws and we will support it. They haven't got any yet.
Really?
They're bringing all kind of crazy laws. And they would not deal with police service.
The fireworks bill wasn't good law?
That's a trick.
I just asking. The fireworks bill wasn't good law?
They bring all kind of things that is not so totally relevant to the maintenance of the economy and the people and that's going to the way of life. Right? That is a stupid law. That's a triple law. That's a small law. Anybody could write that in the morning.
Here what, man? I just listen. I want to debate with you, you know, because
I anyone, anytime, any place.
I have information, brother.
Country allow it to be commercially. I wouldn't say the word,
brother.
Right?
I have the same information you have, and a little more,
Yes. Why the UNC wouldn't go to Parliament and vote for
I have the same information you have and a little more.
You know what I think?
Because we have a new administration.
The UNC should be running the government. You want to know why? They're smarter than Canada, smarter than Jamaica, smarter than Barbados, smarter than all the other countries that put in a
And they're smarter than the PNM.
system doesn't work. Yeah, they're smarter than the PNM too. Right? That's the problem in the country. That's the problem in the country. Right? You must call David Abdullah and tell him, ask him.
On the street 919 FM.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
The Lion Brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Palori, fry, bake, roti, and double stew, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion Brand is the reason. When the Lion Brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion Brand.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m., Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Hail Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Torlish, Carice Pascal, Deep Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Rain. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Brio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Togo South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, 3, go. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30-1 on the base, 130-1 with the Juve ball, 135-1 with the steel pan ball, and 150-1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
What are you doing?
Crunchnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood and we vein, we need KFC again and again. Time to crunch, down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look the touchdown now. KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchnival.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, taker, like rocket. It's a Crunchnival with the baddest booking it. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunchnival. KFC, chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunchnival at KFC.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
The
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and the joyous spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaisorama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion. Pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaisorama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born. Kaisorama!
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Postman again. Hey. Ticket book already, hotel book already, rental reserve already, pocket full of money, enough y'all inside the army, are ready to party. Hey, this is Carnival rising. Carnival time is so special to me. Plenty fetting, good vibes and high energy. I love the sexy freedom. The women display it's the vacation experience with fetting every day. Ocean view, balancing with my crew, pumping like a superstar with no work to do. No problem, I studying, no negativity. Jumping with me, this one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes. Yeah. I don't want no bad vibes, all I want is good vibes. It's plenty drinking when I lie in. Please don't bother me when you see me whining, and if you see me drifting, just leave me alone. I just come to party, wind up on somebody, jump up in the Juve, play my slippery pussy, get over behind a truck and chip until I can walk. This is how I do it, carnival vibes, yeah. This one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival.
This is our get on, this is our have fun, this is our wind down in Carnival hot sun. I don't care who watching, I don't care who talking, I just spend my money, so I go party hard. Leave me, let me get on, leave me, let me have fun, leave me, let me party, I just spend my money. Leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me. This is Carnival Bacchanal. This one for Miami, me and my soca army. This one for the hot gal them who independent and love the carnival vibes, yeah.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, and we're back. We're back here on the Third Empire.
And we are analyzing the situation in Tobago as it's
Tobago, yes. We analyzing THA elections, and we had a little banter there, which is good for the show. But I want us to focus on Tobago and Tobago issues, and this idea of self-government and Tobago being allowed to collect their own taxes and certain issues that keep coming up every time we have a discussion on Tobago politics and the THA election. This is what we get. This is what we get all the time. Anytime we have a discussion on Tobago issues, we hear the same things over and over and over. I am not sure, and it is actually not for me to determine what format this whole Tobago autonomy will take. Well,
maybe they can tell you what format they expected it to be, and what format it took, because clearly the people of Tobago, and I'm almost certain, unless something drastically changed, the people of Tobago would have spoken again, and they would have held the PNM to the, even if you have a low voter turnout in Tobago, and the PDP wins the elections, it will say something to the PNM about the PNM. Clearly, the people of Tobago wants to rid themselves of the PNM.
I wonder how, because I've seen it in the literature, I've heard it. I don't hear that much on the campaign trail, to be honest, to be fair. It's something I read about. I wonder if what they want is for the systems that exist to work, rather than new systems. That's two separate arguments. Because there are systems on the books, just like how there are laws on the books that we don't enforce. Do we need new laws for that?
Well, the thing is, I mean, in all fairness, I want to say something on both sides. When I look at Tobago is about the population in Tobago is about the size of two constituencies and Trinidad, right? Sometimes our regional population makes up 3.
Yeah.
And but they get 4, 5 times, 6 times what one regional population will get.
Right.
And one sometimes would, callously not understanding how the system works. Tobago is an island separate and apart from Trinidad. And clearly you have a lot of distinctions, a lot of things that are different in Tobago, right? So I could understand what autonomy may mean for Tobago. How it is worked out, I would like to know, because when you look at the standard of living of the people in Tobago, sometimes you want to think that Tobago people, well, about 90% of them working for the THA, but and WASA and teaching, but you would want to know how it is they seem to be better off than the average Trinidadian. They're not on the hustle and the bustle. like the normal Trinidadian. So sometimes it sounds like they're asking for a lot. But then you could understand that it's two separate islands. And if they depend on almost everything, it's like we depended on the USA for everything, but we're trying to fight the USA. If you're dependent on everything coming from Trinidad, then it would mean that if the sea bridge is not working, you will have a problem. If planes not coming, you will have a problem. If certain things not happening in Trinidad, you will have a problem. So clearly, some kind of arrangement has to be worked out. The people of Trinidad and Tobago must understand, must know. But the PNM has been there for 10 years, half of which, all of which, they weren't, half of which they weren't in control in Tobago. But for the most part, PNM has always been in control in Tobago. So what's the problem? What's the real problem?
And clearly, a lot of those things were never achieved.
Exactly. So why is he saying no? If he was in office, it would happen. Where you going to tell the people in Tobago? You feel people stupid?
No. And that's why this government has to deliver. They have to. This present government has to deliver. Because the population will not be as forgiving. The last side got 10 years, 2 chances. This government is not going to get 2 chances.
No, certainly not.
Certainly not.
But what I mean, you know, we on this game at cricket.
Yes.
We like to look at trajectory. We like to look at and if you were to just look at purely at trajectory as it relates to budgetary allocations and that kind of thing. There are those who will say they can't get that. I heard a caller when I was driving up the road here saying that Tobago not going to get $3 billion. I don't know, we don't know.
Yeah.
But certainly what they will get or what they're getting is more than what they ever got, even in good times under the PNM. So the people at Tobago need to look at the trajectory. They need to look at the cooperation between Tobago as a local government or a THA and central government and see who might be the best team of people to work together given the current configuration. And that is what should be occupying the minds of Tobagonians voting today.
Well, we're going to shift gears a little bit to announcements by the Minister of Labour and the Prime Minister about the amendments to the Maternity Protection Act and the Retrenchment and Severance Benefit Act, aimed at expanding paid leave and stronger workplace protections. So, for the first time, the Prime Minister said the law will formally recognize paternity leave and parental leave, extending benefits to adoptive parents and guardians, and applying parental leave where a mother dies following childbirth. That is straightforward. I see that as useful, especially in a social context, in terms of employment and labor reform. Is it on my 1 to 10 list?
No.
No. But it is important. Granted, it is important. We will take that. So we're going through some of the reforms, or the proposed reforms.
Breastfeeding breaks.
Breastfeeding breaks. Okay?
How that will work for productivity, I don't know. But
Dr. Pottinger says breast is best. So they know what they're talking about.
So, because to me, industrial relations reform should include things, and I as a professional in that area, I could certainly speak to what is expected. What the Industrial Relations Act is supposed to engender is industrial peace.
Right.
And industrial peace means both the tripartite relationship, the labor, government, and management should be working as best as possible in tandem to bring about some kind of peace and productivity and that kind of thing. So the Industrial Relations Act or the IRA should in some way reflect a modus that says that, right? That brings about that. Now I'm looking at what, I don't know if there is something else because I haven't read it, but I don't know if there is something else, other things, right? Because as they spoke about fast tracking cases through the industrial court. I don't know how they're doing that without addressing things like the recognition and certification board. To me, that is one of the biggest bugbear for most, especially small trade unions and that kind of thing. A man have a problem in the workplace. He pay his union dues, right? A trade union, and he fill out an application form. To me, that is all that matters to say, and the union signs it. To me, that is all that matters to say whether he's a member in good standing. You asking the union to show how the union spend that for that money doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I am totally in support of you. That is idiocracy.
And if that is idiocracy to the fullest. And if they fix that, then you're not going to have real industrial peace. You're not going to have no real fairness for workers. Because our employer will always raise that question and with the hope that he catches the union off guard.
Yeah, and in this day and age, anyhow, the act was written at a time maybe at the penny bank.
Yes.
And accounting practices is as vague as they could see.
As they could see.
Because a union is not
a company.
A company, and it will have just a basic accounting side. And if it's into business, maybe more.
The bigger unions might be a little different.
Correct, and it might have a much more convoluted accounting system.
Exactly, but you will have to agree that for most of the informal economy, who utilizes or who passes through that kind of system, or who is affected by that, are the smaller unions.
Yes, and I want to echo your sentiments of how egregious it is to deny a worker right of representation.
Exactly.
Because of some business, which, and I will say this openly on air, it is no business of the employer.
No business of the employer.
Because whether you do your taxes as the employer, nobody asks.
Nobody asks how you're paying your consultant, who's your lawyer, nobody asks.
Matter of fact, most times we don't even know you didn't pay NIS unless something happens.
Unless something happens. So if you were fix that, you see all that thing what you put in there as industrial relations reform, I really hope that they see fast track cases through the industrial.
That's what they mean by fast track.
I really hope that is what you meant. If you're fixing that.
Yes, and we will have to dig down in it and maybe call the batsman sometime later on in the week to hear more. This is before the Attorney General in draft. But these obviously are snippets of what will be in the reform.
Because what most trade unions would want to hear, at least see as part of the snippets, is the reform of the RFCB.
Yes, that is true. And this whole thing about the worker has to prove to be a member in good standing
nonsense
is of no relation to the issue of hand of a dismissal.
Of a dismissal. No issue. No relation.
No relation.
I can understand asking worker under 23E or F or whatever. I can see that.
Because there's and the only reason that makes sense, because there's an avenue for redress if you're not a worker.
Exactly.
So you don't lose.
Yeah.
But if they say you're not a member, you lose.
Exactly.
And that could not be.
Thank you. That could never be.
That could never be sense.
They have to repeal that.
It could never be fair to the worker, and that affects all workers, whether you're pregnant or not.
Yeah, exactly.
That affects all workers. All workers.
It's a loophole that employers use all the time. About 90% of my clients are employers.
Yes.
But it's a loophole that employers use all the time. I don't do it because I find it's an unethical thing to do.
Yeah, it's strategy.
But it's strategy.
And it is allowed for in the law, so it is not lawful. It is not unlawful.
Unlawful.
But it's unethical as you have pointed out. And that really frustrates the whole system.
Mhm.
And
that's one of the things that frustrates the court.
That frustrates the court, and unless that is addressed, you cannot get any fast track on anything.
So to tell a lawyer or a consultant that he had to honor the court orders to produce evidence and argument and witness statement on time, you will always have delays. You will always have delays for all kind of reasons. Negotiation, outer court settlement, negotiation, all kind of delays. But that, what we're talking about, the thing that carries matters 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years in the court,
correct,
is that.
And you can't have those things lingering. Workers are disenfranchised by that. Actually, some workers, I mean, the time it takes for even those matters to be determined, the time it takes for those matters to be determined is very, very long.
Very, very long. So, ban pregnancy testing for job application, yeah, I can see that. But as an employer, if you are the best candidate, my best candidate, and I realize you're pregnant, I'd rather send you for no test.
Yeah.
I might just choose to hire you or not. But if I want productivity, if I want to hire you for a particular purpose, I will not hire you. But I'll just wait until after your period. And
but Senior Matheson, I've had a question here to ask you since last week. And you do the two arms of the relations, industrial relations, and you do human resource. And it was brought to my attention because it is an issue sometimes where a worker has been dismissed in circumstances that are harsh and oppressive and contrary to industrial relations practices is a matter for the court to determine, right?
Harsh and oppressive and contrary.
Yes.
It's
so
a matter for the court to determine.
The worker has to, however, during that time, the worker applies for a job.
Right.
The former employer states to the prospective employer that we dismiss this worker.
Sometimes without saying why.
Yes.
Sometimes given their side of the story.
Given their side of the story, creating it very hard.
And all those are things. You see what you just said? All those are things that I would have liked to see as part of the reform here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Because it have and I saw it firsthand some time ago with employment, trying to hire people in a state-owned company.
Right.
You have an agency that does background checks.
Yes.
I wouldn't call the name of the agency.
Yes.
Right? And part of the question the agency asks your employer if there are any disputes.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why they would ask that, but I thought you would have stopped by asking. I thought you would have stopped by asking if the person, how the person separate, if the person was terminated or not.
Yeah.
But you go on to ask, the organization is green light, by the way. You go on to ask if there are any disputes.
Yeah.
Now, that could only mean one thing.
Yes.
And if you're saying that if I separate with your company,
yes,
because you did something to me that I didn't like,
yes,
and say even I claim, I leave, I resign, and I say I claim constructive dismissal. I just
yes,
using that. That's just one of the things. Or
yes,
I leave because
summary dismissal.
Summary dismissal or something for
yes,
whatever reason.
Yes.
The fact that that company is asking that question and you answering it, to me, is a grave injustice to the worker.
Correct. For which the worker has no control.
No control.
Because you're already dismissed. So it's a double whammy. You lost your job. One would feel.
And then on top of that, that same employer, I know I have a matter like that in the court right now. That same employer would raise the question of member in good standing.
Yes.
That's how dangerous they are.
Yes. And employees are affected because...
So I would like to see those things addressed in industrial relations
you are
reform.
not... And some big companies do these things.
It's big companies. It's a big company I'm talking about. I don't want to call the name of the company.
Yeah. I don't want either, because I have matters like that with clients right now, and it is so unfair. It is so unfair and diabolically so that you prevent somebody from moving on.
Accessing the court. And at the same time from getting an next job.
And you are well aware that there's a matter pending.
Exactly.
Now, if the worker never challenged anything and the worker went free, even that, ethically.
But it's what I'm saying. Ethically. Now, if the worker was genuinely stole something and was tried in the company and they was terminated for that, nothing wrong with saying that.
Yes.
I mean, when I ask if the worker was working, what kind of worker, performance, that kind of thing, well, they could say, well, the worker was terminated. Nothing wrong in that.
Yes.
But if the worker challenged any matter.
Yes. And you're aware of that.
And you're aware of that.
You're in conciliation, or you have all the things going on. You're going to write member in good standing. So there's a process going on.
Yeah.
Why would you make negative comments?
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. These are the things the Prime Minister and her team should be looking at.
And HR organizations and HR departments have to be sensitive enough to understand that too is a very possible situation for workers. Which you might. I went to the bank sometime and I was explaining to a bank worker. They was telling me about a friend of mine whose name came up on a credit check, right? That they owing such and such. And I said, but that tells you nothing. You don't know why that happened. What assumptions you making about that? You don't know if that is the organization stance on that matter is before litigated.
Yeah. Now, in all fairness, we're not saying that you should lie for a worker.
No.
We're not in any way saying that.
No.
And we're not saying...
But it is not a lie to say...
We're not saying... Hear what? If you applying for a job in a bank... Right? That bank might want to know if you are an honest person or not.
Yes.
And that bank might... If you was working in another institution like it before, you have that on your resume, you have that on the application form, then the bank might want to know, and I think for the purpose of the SEC and all that kind of thing, in those kind of high jobs, there may be questions relative to the SEC and all that kind of thing. But I'm saying that you can't deny saying... You shouldn't lie.
Yes.
You should say exactly what happened. But don't go out of your way to say we have a dispute and you fire this worker and this worker thief. I find to me that is very, 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 very... So this person do it time and he still wanted destroy this worker. It's like a prisoner.
And I don't agree that it's a lie, because all you can say is you terminated this worker. The jury is still out whether that termination was harsh and oppressive.
Or not.
And if it was not harsh and oppressive, then saying anything will prejudice the worker.
Correct.
Saying anything prejudices the worker.
Correct.
So if the most you could say, to say that there's a pending matter for deliberation, even that is very mild because it doesn't give a negative or positive connotation. But to blacklist some of the companies, blacklist workers.
Some employers, especially in what I call the informal economy or the semi-informal economy, they first thing that some of the questions they might ask workers is they want a union. Are you part of a union?
Yeah.
What are you asking that for?
Yeah.
Right? Are you going to pay my union dues for me?
Yeah.
They want a union in the place, and they want to. If you have a matter, a dispute, that's a problem, because it says that you're either knowledgeable, you will tell the other employees what they could expect or what they shouldn't expect or what they should tolerate or not tolerate. So that's how employers see it sometimes. I always say, you know what my position is on this. a unionized environment is always a better environment to operate within. It's just that we, in Trinidad and Tobago, for whatever reason, trade unions have operated so badly, right, that employers have a bad taste, a bad feel about trade unions. But really and truly, if you are a big employer, you have more than say 200 workers and things, the best thing for you, especially if you plan to be a bad employer, the best thing for you is to have a trade union. Right? The best thing.
Yeah.
Because it means you have one contract to deal with, as opposed to 200.
Yeah, and I feel it for these workers who are aggrieved by very unethical HR, and it's not everybody, but practices that seek to blacklist workers.
And they are very unethical HR. I was dealing with a situation, as a matter of fact, it's a current situation, where I think I mentioned it the last day, some time ago, our constructive dismissal, where the HR in the company, and it's a big company, does not even know what are the principles that constitutes constructive dismissal. So you have on your employment contract that this employee has to give 3 months notice if he's leaving, not understanding that if this employee leaves claiming raising constructive dismissal, he doesn't even have to get a notice. He does not even have to give a notice.
Yeah. It is really.
So they are now holding certain kind of income bonuses and things for the gentleman, because they said that the gentleman would have left without giving notice. And he clearly has in his resignation letter constructive dismissal.
Yeah, I don't know what notice they want. You know, there's so many, like, I don't know who is sitting down to discuss.
But these are things. HR people doing that.
Yeah.
They don't even understand it. And they went to school in Trinidad and studied HR without even studying employment law or anything like that.
I was talking to our mutual friend over the weekend about recognition and certification in terms of having an RMU. So I discovered, only in that conversation, that after you get because there's a situation in an organization, as I told you, they were seeking to have an RMU. They had an RMU 6 years ago with one union. Since then, so that means they had 50% of the workers. Since then, 3 people alone in the union.
I know a credit union like that.
Right? But my advisor then was telling me they are still bound by that collective agreement. Nobody else can represent the workers, even though...
Well, yes, because it's registered.
Yeah, but even though...
They haven't negotiated, they haven't any changes in the
But they fall below the threshold. The law says that anytime you fall below the threshold...
You can be decertified.
You can be decertified. Because in all practicality, even if the administrative steps didn't take place, let's look at the practical IR steps. Who are you negotiating for? You should, and in fact, in effect, do not have an RMU.
Correct.
So even if one still exists on paper, should it be fair that unless somebody has challenged, you continue to negotiate for everybody?
Well, you see, that's a question for the RRCB, and not so much for the person who challenging it.
Yes.
Or even the persons who are members of the union at the time.
Yeah.
Because they will also be in a very disadvantaged position.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it. All the other members die out.
No, they could still be members of a union.
But
they just don't have a RMU. So they can't lose. They could still have the members coming.
Yeah,
but I was talking
you remember with the RMU, you have special
rights and privileges.
Rights and privileges.
So I was asking for purposes of collective bargaining. Does that union negotiate for workers? And our friend was saying, yes, that is the only people until somebody get bright, challenge it, and get an RMU.
So it means that it's either one out of two things. Either everybody paying union dues, or you have the the shop order, what is it? What do you call it? The shop
Agency?
order agency.
Shopper order.
Yeah, agency shop order.
Yeah.
So in effect, where probably Sopriani College or somebody getting the whatever benefits and that kind of thing. But I don't even know that if that has happened. That's just in the act.
Yeah, that's in the act.
Yeah. But you know, there are so many things that I would like to see in industrial relations reform.
Yeah.
That, I mean, in all fairness, looking at that, I haven't seen the bill.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't looked at it, but I know I have spoken a lot. Even since this government came into office, I've spoken a lot to certain people about certain reforms that is much needed in the Industrial Relations Act. But I'm seeing this. If this better be a snippet and not the whole thing, because there are a lot of things that has to be addressed that needs to be addressed. And if you're addressing now, you're making changes, you're making amendments now, I think now is the time to fix all those things. It's not going to hurt anybody. As a matter of fact, it will work for both. The things that needs to be addressed in this amendment will benefit both sides, employers and workers.
Yeah, because it is really unfair for an employee who has been dismissed. Remember there's an imbalance of power in the employment relationship, assumed imbalance of power, because it is so in truth between employer and employee. And you do not have any control as an employee over your termination, over your employment. You know there's an imbalance of power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the balance of power assumed under law is towards the employer.
Well,
right?
the burden of proof.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the balance of power in terms of the working relationship.
Of course.
Right? It's towards the employer.
Yeah, it's towards the employer.
So the employer tell you, go home.
Mm-hmm.
So you go home, you lost your job.
The employer stop paying you. You can't pay yourself.
Right. And you go to find suitable alternative employment.
Mm-hmm.
Yet when they call for a reference, he could say anything. He could say that guy raped somebody.
Mm.
That doesn't occasion an investigation.
And by the way, when that happens in places like green light, they give you a red light, you know, to the employer, to the prospective employer.
Yeah.
So nobody had to tell you nothing. No, them employ. You just find out you get a job.
Correct.
Right? You get a job.
Correct. And everything there is fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrated. We have some common workers.
Mm-hmm.
Good, and it really doesn't matter what level you are at, who are disenfranchised from having an opportunity to carry on with their life.
Mm-hmm.
So the employer...
And I know a lot like that.
The employment relationship is already severed. Mm-hmm. Yet the employer has the reach
mm-hmm. to harm you long after you're gone.
Long after you're gone.
Post-employment.
This time is a constructive dismissal, or is a summary dismissal, is a dismissal disguised as a retrenchment,
mm-hmm.
or you have cases where we know the employer will set up a tribunal.
Mm-hmm. A sham tribunal.
A sham tribunal.
Mm-hmm. I had one right now with Titipo before the court.
Make sure everything is everything in the sham tribunal, and they go ahead, and at the end of the day, the worker is dismissed.
Exactly.
Good? And the worker not even wanting to fight the company, because there are some workers who just say, okay, let me go and fight. You can't even move on.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the references are going to be negative. That's very pernicious. And it's very, very, that should not be. And the employee has no power, because according to you, you just hear background checks.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody call somebody and give them some cock and bull story. We hear so and so, you know.
But I'm telling you, this green light organization, they just do some real intrusive evaluations. Real intrusive, which is good. But some of the things really are not going to help you. You better be a real good Santa Claus, a real good employee. When green light come, and they start asking questions, they're checking your social media, everything.
Yeah. And that reminds me, the other day I was watching a program on facial recognition. And those who are against the facial recognition, because the argument was that the facial recognition technology in London, especially during Christmas, helped a lot when you talk about counteracting shoplifting. But there's a group who are against the use of the technology because there have been people who get arrested, charged. They're on a list. And the employer tell them, so they ask the employer, oh, why you want me out your store? You look at him come up on that list. And so you're maligned.
So that's how, I mean, that's how things like AI and technology and things, that's where it's taken us, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just in Britain, and that's big in places like China and that kind of place, right? You evaluated in China by how much bars you have on your phone as charge. Serious, no?
So you could be a at-risk person.
Yeah, at-risk person.
Because
you go for a bank loan,
yeah,
and you just take risk with, okay, your phone 10% at 10 o'clock in the day. Now you are at-risk person. You taking too much risk.
The conclusions we draw from this technology, but getting back to what we see in terms of this IR reform and the reform of the IRA, we await to see the details.
Yeah, I will see if I could get, because it must have a bill or something, so I'll check to see if they would have made address those
You've seen the comment concerning the RSBA, where they want to have a paid fund now, so in case to circumvent the ArcelorMittal fiasco.
No, well, remember in, I think it was 85, the last amendment, the RSBA was 1985.
Yes.
That particular act, the mischief in that act was similar to what happened with ArcelorMittal.
Yes.
The mischief was the mischief that brought about that particular piece of legislation was similar to what would have taken place in ArcelorMittal. Now the thing is, nothing stopped the court from asking the company to, sometimes when you lose a matter and you appeal it, you had to put on a bond.
Yes.
I wonder why they didn't have a bond for that with that company.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a court matter relative to that.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know, maybe the court should have the powers to tell the company to, put on a bond or something, because I have a matter right now that I won before the court, and it was appealed, and I am concerned that the employer have done every single thing before too, and I'm not trying to prejudice the appeal or anything, but this employer has done every single thing to not pay this worker.
Yeah.
Throughout the life of this matter.
So we want to ask you, members of the pavilion, on 342-081-466-5391, do you support the move for companies to establish a fund in cases where you go bankrupt, so that workers do not walk away empty-handed? You do not declare bankruptcy.
Because under bankruptcy laws,
yeah, the workers are last.
The workers are last.
Yeah. Yeah, the workers are last. You're paying everybody. You can pay yourself if you have a shadow company. But the workers are last, and workers, they have no control.
No control.
No control. And you didn't even have to be bankrupt, but you could say that, claim that, get through with the laws, because there are requirements for bankruptcy, and the workers end up with nothing. Do you support the establishment of a fund that the employer must pay into accumulatively to cover instances like these? If it never happen, then the employer make a savings. That's all it is. If it does happen, workers have protection.
But that will only for cases that fall under the RSP, because remember, our employer is not obligated. Nobody is obligated to pay any pension or anything when you reach retirement age.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
so that is something separate and apart from retirement.
Yes.
That is under redundancy where
Correct.
you have retrenchment.
Retrenchment.
This is for that.
Yes. So calling us and tell us, do you support that move? The numbers to call are 3420081 4665391. Because workers are fragile, workers are fragile. Good afternoon, Mr. President.
I'm glad when I get into the subject. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Orlando. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Pretty blessed to try to sit down here listening on the program for the longest while. And from since before 6, I wanted to come in, but I realized all it was on the road. So at this point now, you're talking about, at this point now, that question of your actually, I personally saying I don't really keen at that because that's something like them insurance companies when it reaches to a point, you don't pay all this amount of money, and when you look back, they kick you out of the insurance and tell everybody for you to be no member again and all them kind of things. And you see, we talked this thing some time ago, and I just always keep on saying, because I deal with capitalism and slavery in my mind as I recognize that is the existence I live in. And the fact remains as the capitalists don't care about the slave, rich and poor. And basically, I say it once upon a time, most people who own big business like massa, I call all of them massa because on the end they're following the colonial system still. So look at all the laws that you see, they don't want to change no constitution. No kind of constitution they don't really necessarily want to change because they want to keep that same old colonial capitalist slave attitude on the society. Look at whether the Indian, African, Indian, Chinese, whoever it is. Once you're poor, once you're in the status of poor, once you're in the status of slave, once you're in the status of low in the society. So I can't succumb to that. I wouldn't succumb to that. If it reaches the point that people will pay, they will find out the end result. Some will gain, according to you just now. The higher part, the employer is the last to pay, to be paid. And if you could consider that and they don't take all your money already, and when we done that, when the time to call it redundancy, or when the time to close up the situation, the bigger part of the people get paid, and the smaller part of the people have to stay the next 10 or 20 years to get the money, if they get it at all. So I can't like that. Well, that's a nice conversation earlier on. I ain't going to go back there. In the sense, I will just stay with the last one.
Tell us now what you see in Tobago. Tell us, President, you could do that. Tell us what you see in Tobago.
What I really wanted to say is that I am following the Tobago thing, but in really the whole conversation I was given, I want to still go back to Dr. Rowley, because that election I lost because of PNM as much. I keep on telling people that election lost by Dr. Rowley's attitude. The way he moved away from the constitutive consciousness that he and all put down as a vote, one man, one vote, he put it down and come and break it. He lost this election until the last few moments, Times, the commissioner, the finance minister, all of them drop off in a moment in time. Why they do it, I can't understand up to know why they do it, but at the same time, Dr. Rowley, who's supposed to stand up as the man and say he's holding out from after money, he's holding out as a PNM king for the people, he break them on after just about a week or a month or so before and kill he and the whole parliament, he do it. He betrayed we in all ways. He could have leave the thing, we might have voted for Stuart Young because we noticed Stuart Young was international together with he. But the way he broke it by not following the constitution, and so if you hear Tobago going back to a situation, it's because them actually realize they don't have Rowley around again. It could be possible.
Boy,
because I personally didn't want to hear about him because
I think them people in Tobago. I think them people in Tobago want to run far away from the PNM right now.
Well, all right, okay. If you see it that way, I don't know how the come go. We will look to see how the come to. So we don't want to talk too much of the politics tonight because they're under election. Right? So, but if by chance, because, you see, boy, if we go to talk them, when we talk PNM, we talk we, you know, because it's we who make up the PNM, we who doing all the dotations to bring down the PNM or to the PNM. If we're not following the order of the, what we call the PNM Constitution or the Republic Constitution, we're not doing that. And we decide to live this thing right and say we have PNM. That is we who bring down the PNM together with Dr. Rowley at the last moment in time. And because it's we who encouraging all the dotations and many mistakes, according to Ms. Camilla, we who not law-abiding, psychologically, she right. You know, so it's a big thing. And if we're going to talk, we need more time to talk that. We need a lot of debate between ourselves. That's why I say we need to hold on at 12 so we could have an organization of the slaves so that we could talk this thing out. So when we go in Parliament with we 12 people, we tell people could talk to we. And I was asking what? And now go talk that until June. Let June come, and then we go talk for the election coming. Oh yeah, God, have a nice night. Oh, look at my privilege. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Where's he say when I say a meeting of the slaves?
Yeah, the slaves, the proletariat. And the we is a whole set of rats in your pocket. Not we, nah?
Oh my God. But he analyzes things in his own way and comes up with his own potions, you know. But such is it. Let me sneak in this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. I want to touch on what you speak about just now with employees leaving the job without, say for instance, severance or a fund to raise for them. But if we go back to 1958, all right, that before the pension plan implemented by the PNM, you had a fund called the Provident Fund, which the employer gives 10% and the employee gets 10%. And when you're leaving, you get the two. You get the employee and you get the employer percentage. All right? And they put that in an insurance company and that fund revolve. But they stopped it in 58, right? So to bring it back now, I don't know if legislation will allow that to come back. But that's my take on it. Thanks a lot.
I would like to, after reading this, I'd like to dissect and break down for the public to understand, because even this RSB, this doesn't necessarily, this only relates if you have redundancy in cases of that, right? That will remain the company funds.
Yes.
Right? Now, if you pay into something like the Providence Fund, if you pay into something, then you should be entitled to at least what you pay for, and with interest.
Right.
So this is not that.
Yeah.
This is, unless you have a new law that passed that say every worker leaving private organization at retirement age is entitled to some kind of retirement fund or retirement income. Yeah, that Providence Fund thing will come up. But you could also do that with an insurance company. You follow?
Yes, well, so when it concerns the fast-track cases through the industrial court, I expected to see all the unions out in full gala, in full regalia, because this affects all workers.
Well, it affects all the workers, but see, the big unions, the ones that cozying up to Kamala and them, they're not really affected by what we was just talking about, you know.
Okay.
Because remember, they have RMUs.
Yes, so they are governed by the rules of the collective agreement.
So they wouldn't really be affected by what most of the workers who try to access the court through under Section 51(1)(c), are challenged by.
But remember, our union density is still low.
Yes,
so there are more workers who are affected.
Exactly, there are more workers that are
But
affected.
as you say, they will not be.
But they wouldn't be championing that.
So
because that doesn't fall within their sphere of operations or
so it's the
challenges.
small unions.
The small unions
who will represent the majority of the workforce.
Workforce, yes.
Need to spearhead this. Good, because those who are governed by RMUs and their monthly.
So the beg you and all of them, you wouldn't hear them complaining about this.
No, that's not a matter.
That is not a matter that they will unless it's somebody who fall outside of the recognized majority union.
So, see you tomorrow. We're gone to Empire.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills.